So I want to introduce all the way from Cork, West Cork, a place close to my own heart, Roos Demol. Yes, and I will let you take the floor. Your bio is there. I've recently been introduced to you by Piero Ngadi. I'm very grateful to him for unearthing these jewels that he never told me about until now. New peace ambassadors about to be inaugurated today. So if you'd like to make your way up and share your heart and your vision and your work with us, Roos.
I'm a bit tall. Okay. Hello? Yeah. Okay, so hello everybody, and thank you very much for letting me come here all the way from Cork. It was a bit, we started at 6 o'clock this morning, so but I'm still wide awake. I'll fall asleep when I come home. I was asked to talk here about what we do. I will start from the beginning, but I will not take it too long. I come from, I'm Roos, a Flemish woman from Cork. That's how I define myself. Because I'm always Flemish, you know, I'm not going to change into any other nationality. But Cork has become my home, so I'm Roos, Flemish woman from Cork. I come from a very large family of 10 children. Now when we all come together, there's 108 of us, so, you know, not unlike many Irish people. But peace has always been a subject in our family. And I think in the families of many Flemish people, because of World War I, you can go and visit the graves there of 70,000 graves, and then a wall full of names of people who disappeared there. I've taken all my children there because I think it's important to teach children at a young age about war and peace. And so that's always been a driving factor in my life, in my family. And then I wanted to become a journalist, but my mother said, okay, go to nursing school. So those were the days. I became a nurse, but when I came out of the nursing school, I started working in a prison hospital in Brussels. And that's where I saw something else about peace. Peace is not only the absence of war. Peace is the absence of poverty, the absence of discrimination, the absence of racism. All the things many, many people, unfortunately, still today are suffering from. So that has been a driving force in my life. And I then came to Ireland, I got married, I came to Ireland, I have 2 Belgian children, 2 Irish children. And I also noticed that being a migrant, even as a European, which has it a lot easier than anyone else, but as a migrant it's difficult to live in another country, certainly in the beginning. And I started a radio show called The New Rebels from Cork, where I invited people from all over the world in the studio to talk about their joys, but also their frustrations about living in Ireland, and then also play their music, and got so in the hope that people would listen and learn true stories of migrants and not just what they have in their mind. I kept on doing these things, and then I met a lot of people who were seeking asylum in Ireland, and that's where my real passion came into. So I will cut it short, but in the end I met a refugee, and together we formed an organization called International Community Dynamics, which support refugees and asylum seekers around Ireland. We started in Cork, but we are now spread all over Ireland. And we have the wonderful Piero Ngadi, who became our chairperson. And thank you very much for all the work you do, Piero. But so what we do is we support the refugees and asylum seekers. It grew organically, but we have 3 projects at the moment. So we have a music project where we collected guitars for people in direct provision, but we also started playing with them. we formed a band called Citadel. As I surprised the lady there when I was singing in Bengali, we sing in like 10 different languages. So people from countries from all over the world come together, play music from their home countries, and accompany each other. And it's absolutely wonderful. We went to Electric Picnic last year. We played in the National Concert Hall. We've been everywhere, really. And last Friday we were in Culture Night in Cork, and we had people were saying it was the best of the whole Culture Night event, so it's wonderful. Gloria there, who came with me, is one of our powerful singers from South Africa. Yeah. So that's one of the things we do. And then in 2018, people seeking asylum in Ireland finally received the right to work. And so when they're 6 months in Ireland, they can work. But what I noticed, because I would go in and out of direct provision centres and I really know the people there, what I noticed was that many people could not find work, either that, or could not find work that they're qualified for or want to do. And Doris, which is an organisation in Limerick, has done a research on that, and of the 60% of people who work, so 60% of asylum seekers were working. Of those 60%, only 9% were happy with the job they were doing. Okay, so I decided we can't let that happen. So I created a website with a database of all the skills and everything that people can do, and then also connected that to employers, in the hope that we could mix, that we could connect people to the right jobs. But of course, first of all, they have to be job ready. So we need to check how good is their English, do they need upskilling, are their qualifications accepted in Ireland, what do they need to do to get them accepted, or do they need to upskill? And so once all that is done and they are job ready, we can then connect them, hopefully, to the right jobs. We placed an awful lot of people. We also, because COVID then happened, actually I've created this for my dinner table at home. COVID happened and people had to go online and they had no laptops. So I said, I'm a very pragmatic woman, let's get laptops. And we created a campaign called Windows for Opportunity, and we collected money, but also and we still do, if anyone here is working and wants to give their laptop away. We collected laptops as well, and we managed to give over 300 laptops to people in direct provision. Also smartphones, thank you. And we're hoping to start it again because the charity regulator came to us saying, you're not a charity yet, so we couldn't do it anymore. But we're hoping to connect with the Africa Centre in Dublin to restart this whole thing, because it's very, very important. And then, of course, so that's Recruit Refugees Ireland. Apart from that, we also do an awful lot of advocacy, because they are, the constant, it's so difficult, and I think a few people here know that, to live in a direct provision centre, to live in a shared room with people you don't know, sometimes from the other side of the world, who have to call home all night, while you have to call home all day, and things just don't mix, cultures don't mix so easily. Even to African countries, if you're from East Africa and from West Africa, there's a big difference. So it's unfair to treat people like that, to let people languish in that provision centre where children see things they should never be seen. The Ombudsman in Ireland has said more than 5 times, if I'm not mistaken, that children do not belong in direct provision centres. So we want to help as much as we can. And then now, also because of the rise of the right wing here in Ireland and the racist rhetoric that we're getting of a minority, but a very loud minority, we have decided to do something against that. Now, we're not people who go and protest, but we organize the Festival of Belonging, where we invited refugee artists to show their art. We had artists from Sudan, from Congo, from Zimbabwe, Pakistan, Ukraine, you know, from 7 different countries, and really, really very high-level artists. So we had that exhibition on for 2 weeks, and then our band performed in the Triskel Art Center in Cork, and also a Syrian band. After that, and then also spoken word artists, so they were writers. Some of them had published books, so they came to read their poetry. And then the next day we had a conversation cafe where people could come and have a coffee with a refugee and just talk and discuss things. So people have the opportunity to meet someone where they have a lot of ideas about but don't really know them. And then after that we had a conference in UCC on belonging. And so there was a big interest in UCC, in the Department of Criminology and Sociology, who have a very big interest in placemaking and belonging. So, yeah, so those are the things we do. There's a lot more. I mean, I get phone calls 24/7, and because people, even abroad, type in Google refugees if they want to do something or run away. They come to Recruit Refugees Ireland and they call me. So I will get calls from Pakistan. When the Afghan crisis happened, I had a man in Afghanistan who was left behind, who was being beaten up by the Taliban, and I helped him over the phone during 2 years. He's now in England, in London, and he has asked for asylum. But so things happen all the time, and Pierrot knows very well that we're always busy. We have a website, so if you can always look us up. I have my business cards with me as well. You can always come and ask. So one of the most important things is that we do not discriminate against anyone. You know, the UN Declaration of Anti-Discrimination, so we don't discriminate people on the basis of their gender, their race, color, their religion, their age, their sexual orientation, their disability, or whether they're a traveler of the traveler community, their national origin, marital status, or whether they're pregnant or not. So all these things are very, very important and the core of our beliefs and our mission. Okay, to make people thrive. That is really what we want. Find their talents and make them thrive. And yeah, is there anything else I need to say, Piero? Yeah, so our motto is change through positive action. So we don't go protesting, but what we do was also when there was this anti-refugee protest going on, we just organized a welcome refugee party in Cork City, and then the Festival of Belonging, which was so positive. It was incredibly positive. We did do a survey afterwards of the artists, of the people attending, and they 100% asked to do it again. And one of the questions was also, have you changed your mind about refugees and asylum seekers? 80% said yes, I've changed my mind. So it's a really good way to show people who we are talking about, that we are all just people who love our children, who are artists, who are singers, who are plumbers, who are architects, you know? So that is what we really stand for, and hopefully we can keep on going. Funding is always the big issue, but yeah, we'll get there. So yeah, thank you very, very much for giving me this opportunity, and thank you all for